Well, the Department of Justice has subpoenaed Nvidia as it continues to investigate claims that the chipmaker violated antitrust laws. Joining us right now to talk about the potential case against Nvidia is former Department of Justice prosecutor Ferdose al-Taie. And Ferdose, let's run through this because it's not illegal to be a monopoly. It's not illegal to be really great at what you do. What would the Department of Justice be looking into? What could it potentially see that would be unlawful?
You're exactly right. What most companies want to do, what most businesses want to do is dominate. The way you dominate is by bringing superior products to the market as quickly as you can and servicing your customers. When you do that successfully, I often tell my clients, congratulations, you are now in the crosshairs of the federal government. So what happens is DOJ is very focused on, and the Federal Trade Commission as well, monopolists who have used their monopoly power illegally. So there are many legal monopolies. A patent is an example, a trademark is an example. But when you use that power illegally, then the federal regulators step in. Nvidia is incredibly acquisitive. In 2024, it had many acquisitions. It did extremely well in the market, and that has brought in a lot of ire from federal regulators.
A lot of ire just because there's more demand for the chips than they can supply at this point, or based on who they're giving those chips to? I'm not sure I entirely understand.
So I came out of the DOJ Antitrust Division in a section that looked at things that were federally regulated across computers and processing chips. We have a consolidation in artificial intelligence. The government under the Biden administration on both the FTC and DOJ have announced that consolidation in chip makers is concerning because they don't want only certain companies to control how many chips go out. Nvidia has been accused of selectively providing their product quicker to market to certain consumers of their products. The government doesn't want that. They want an equal distribution, and now the FTC and DOJ have divided up the AI industry. So DOJ is looking at Nvidia, and the FTC is looking at two other acquisitions. And the reason why is because they don't want consolidation into certain companies, because then those companies could restrict supply, which would increase demand. They could drop prices, so they could block out their competitors and then raise prices. Both of those are critically illegal and actually criminally illegal under the antitrust laws.
But simply, I mean, Jensen Huang in the past, the CEO of Nvidia, has said that he wants to give the chips to places where they're going to most quickly be used and put into place. You're saying that's part of the problem, actually, that what they should be doing is distributing it more evenly, so that even if there's not enough to go around, that means what? That you get, if you ask for 100 chips, you should only get 20 so that we can give more to other outlets?
Right. So that's a great question. This is where business acumen, what the CEO of Nvidia is saying, meets a regulatory review. So it just depends. It depends if Nvidia's story about how they're selecting their customers and consumers, if that proves true to the government. You can discriminate against certain customers in advantage of other customers under a very specific set of facts. If Nvidia can prove that what they're doing is beneficial for customers, then they win that argument. If they cannot prove that, then they lose that argument. And that is the battle of the experts, both the experts internally at the DOJ, who are economists, external experts that DOJ will hire, and of course, Nvidia's counsel team and their own experts. They have to prove that in a court of law. Right now, Nvidia, because it's going through yet another acquisition, has to and has made a public filing under the Hart-Scott-Rodino Act that goes to DOJ and FTC. DOJ is now the regulator who's going to be looking at that acquisition. They can, of course, always send a civil investigative demand, basically a document and deposition subpoena to any company that's regulated. When Nvidia goes for another acquisition, that actually opens up DOJ's opportunity to look even deeper into the company before approving that acquisition to go forward. That's the position that Nvidia is in. So DOJ...
Ferdose, let me just back this up one moment. I'm not sure I understand. If they can prove that it's good for customers, for certain customers, or it has to be good for all customers? Because I'm sure if you're asking the big guys who are getting all these chips, they're saying it's great for us. If you look at other customers who aren't getting the chips they want, they're going to say it's bad for us. And some have even supposed that this is coming because some of those customers who aren't getting as many chips as they want are complaining. Does that sound like the type of situation where it would pass muster or would not pass muster?
You are right. Usually it's the customers who are not getting the supply that they demand that go to DOJ and the regulators and complain. DOJ will take a look at what those customers are saying versus what Nvidia is saying. And of course, Nvidia will bring to bear all of its own customers who are very satisfied with the product, very satisfied with the supply. And then DOJ will balance what is happening across the market for AI chips. They will look at the market entirely, and then they will decide whether it is permissible under the federal antitrust laws to discriminate against certain customers in favor of others.